welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tosin. If this is your first time being here, so great to have you. And if you're a returning subscriber, I know it's been a while. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But today we're going to be talking about how to apply for your Stamp 1G. So let's just get right into it. But before we do, I'll just summarize what has been going on and where I have been. I graduated. Yeah, I'm a graduate. Perfect. It was a lovely day. I was with my family, my friends. It was a beautiful day. And then after I got into the grind of the actual, jackpot struggles, had to get this Stamp 1G that I'm about to talk about. Had to get a job. Transition from being remote to hybrid. It's been a roller coaster, but I'm just happy that I can be here and you can watch me, and that I actually got this video out. Like literally, I have been trying to record this video. I recorded it, it went missing. I'm recording it again. I'm hoping this one actually goes live. And because so much time had passed, a lot of my equipment were destroyed and had to get new gear. It's been a lot, but I'm happy to be here, so let's get into it. So before we start, what is this Stamp 1G? Maybe you've heard it before. If you're in Ireland, you'll have heard Stamp 1G, Stamp 1G. Or maybe you haven't because you're still at home and you're trying to figure out what you want to do next. So a Stamp 1G is it's kind of like a resident permit that allows you to work 40 hours without needing a work permit or a sponsorship. So unlike other visa types, like a Stamp 1, that you would need to get a work permit separate from your residence permit, the Stamp 1G allows you to do both. You can work and you can reside in Ireland. Now, there are two, what I call it, types of Stamp 1G. There's a Stamp 1G for the spouse of Gina, maybe a Stamp 1, or maybe a Stamp 4. Basically, you are just the spouse of someone that has the right to be in Ireland and work in Ireland. And then there's the other Stamp 1G, which is one I will be talking about. That is my personal experience, and that is the Stamp 1G for people who graduated. Yeah. So you can basically call it the postgraduate visa. That's what we could usually call it, the postgraduate visa. So how does it work and how long is it valid? So it depends on how you basically, what grade you basically finished with. No, not what grade, what level you finished with. So if you're on a level 8, maybe you got a bachelor's, that's an undergraduate degree, you are entitled to 1 year of Stamp 1G. But if you're on a level 9, that is, you graduated with a master's, you are entitled to 2 years, 24 months on a Stamp 1G. But they don't give you the 24 months at once. You first get 12 months and then you apply for another 12 months. So that is the Stamp 1G we'll be talking about today. That's Stamp 1G postgraduate work permit. And it's good to just add at this point that the Stamp 1G is reckonable residence. So what does that mean? While you were a student, while you were in the Stamp 2, all that time did not count towards citizenship. Really just getting your education. But on the Stamp 1G, on the Stamp 1G, the period counts basically. So if you have a 1 year Stamp 1G, it counts towards citizenship. If you get 2 years, it counts towards citizenship. Okay. I have a list actually because I have my phone with me because I'm like, I don't want to miss out on anything. So we've spoken about what it means, we've spoken about how it works, we've spoken about whether it's reckonable or not. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is, what do you need to apply for a Stamp 1G? So since this is a stamp 1G that you're getting because you went and got a degree, you need to finish. You need to pass in school. So if you're a student, you should take your studies seriously. Not passed, no stamp 1G. So of course that is one of the requirements. In my own instance, my school gave me a certificate that was in Latin. But the rules say for you to get a stamp 1G, it should be in English or Irish, right? That's basically, I think you said English or Irish. So in my own case, I had to send a mail to my school and tell them I need proof that I have completed my studies. There are some schools like NCI where you graduate and when you're done with school and your graduation is further away, like some months away, and some people just use a statement of final results, So you don't actually have to graduate. You don't have to walk your gown before you can apply for your stamp 1G. If you're done with school, all your results are out, your dissertation is done, you can email your school officer to give you proof that you basically completed your course. Another thing you need is a valid passport, of course. You need a valid residence permit, so you should apply while you still have your valid stamp 2. Also, when you get to the website, because you would apply online, I think his name is Immigration, I'll put the link in the description. When you do apply, you need to be residing in Ireland at the time. So it's not that you will travel, go home, then go and apply for more. No. Stay here, you apply. When you are clicking submit, what the rules say is you must be in Ireland at the time you apply. So we've spoken about having a valid result, we've spoken about having a valid passport, we've spoken about having a valid residence permit card. You also need insurance. The same way you needed insurance to get your student visa, you need insurance here. I will put the link to the insurance company that I used. At the time, it was I think 220 euros, and they had a graduate cover. So they were aware that I was applying for stamp 1G. So you're not going to go there and click students for insurance. You need to click the cover that covers graduates. And what else do you need? Yes, you definitely need some sort of signature. I didn't understand the rules because it was like, sign vertically, sign horizontally, sign. I don't know what they're talking about, but what I know is the way your passport is, the signature on your passport, sign on a piece of paper, scan it, and then you upload it. So those are the things you need. That's all you need to apply for a stamp 1G. Okay. Now, usually the time period for a stamp 1G usually takes about 3 to 5 weeks. In my own case, I had this bright idea. I don't know what I was thinking, but I had the bright idea of not applying till I graduated. So I finished in June. I submitted my dissertation in June. Went back to Nigeria, chilled with my family. Came back in September. Did not apply. I was sleeping, waking up, and thinking about my life. And in my head, I was like, I didn't want the 12 months to start counting in my own instance, because I was like, I want to finish the time period of my stamp 2. Does this favor you? I don't really know, because those extra 4 months that I was literally on my stamp 2 did not count towards reckonable residence. So I understand why my classmates immediately they qualified for a stamp 1G, went and applied, but I didn't want to do that. In retrospect, would I? Maybe. Now, why would I? Because by the time I started getting headhunted on LinkedIn and recruiters started reaching out to me and I was applying for roles, I wasn't even getting interviews because I was on a stamp 2, which I found very absurd, because I had friends who literally got job offers while they were in school to resume, in September or later on. But the difference is industry. We don't hire for the next. We don't hire today telling you to start in 6 months. We want you to start immediately. So having a stamp 2 was not working out for me. Like, I was getting to the process where they reviewed my CV, they're good to go, and they're like, oh no, they don't want, they can't interview me because I have my stamp 1G. So it's your decision. I actually never wanted to be on a stamp 1G. I had a bright idea that I'm gonna graduate and I'm gonna apply, and we'll see that this girl is a gem, and they will just sponsor me. Some people have that experience, but in my experience, I had to get my stamp 1G to start working. I got a job offer on my stamp 2, but I couldn't start working until I was on my stamp 1G. Okay, so do with this information what you want. You can decide to apply early, you can decide to wait like me, but know that when you wait, those months don't count towards reckonable residence. Okay. What else do I have on this list I want to talk about? So, spoken about it being online. I've spoken about the mistakes that I made. Yes, the second thing I would say, I chose to apply in December, and that cost me. Usually it takes 3 to 5 weeks, and I applied first week in December. And Ireland doesn't joke with their holidays. It's December. They closed, man, and they came up and they put on their website, now it's gonna take 9 weeks. You can imagine having a job offer where, there's a specific time you should resume, and you don't know whether, your visa application has even started, your permit application has started. It was tough, I had to defer starting work because I didn't have my permit, and my company was gracious enough to wait for me. But not everyone will do that. I know it was God. It was God. My manager was very understanding, but the point is I just couldn't start work because I didn't have a visa, so it cost me to have waited. And at the end of the day, even when I got my stamp 1G, after waiting, emailing them every day, kabashing, doing some challenges, all these prayer things, I had to take it to the Lord. There were other places that, I stood a chance, but I was already very tired, and I just didn't bother doing the interviews because I got other interviews that I was supposed to do, but I feel like I might have maybe compared more offers. So I kind of limited my offers. So basically, for me, it cost me time, it cost me my peace because I decided to wait, and it even cost me some interviews. Not every company would be willing to interview someone on a stamp 2, but there are companies that will. There were companies that did take a chance on me. And I think they're lucky because I'm a gem. Bringing you to apart. So I think that's all there is to the stamp 1G. The only other thing I think we can add is, and I think the last thing to discuss is what happens if 24 months has passed and you did not get a job to sponsor you. Because the period of the stamp 1G is not for you to just start working. You need to find a job that will be willing to sponsor you. Okay? So if you haven't gotten that 24 months, in my experience, what I have seen people do is this is the thing with Ireland, you have to share house. So I have to wait. Give me a minute, let them finish playing the song. Okay, they finished. So if the 24 months has finished and you still haven't gotten a job, what I have seen people do is they have applied for extension. And when you're applying for extension, you basically have to, put in information showing that you have been applying for a job, you've been going for job fairs, you have registered with agencies, and it just hasn't come through. And I've seen instances where, it was extended for 6 months. So some people were able to get 6 months extension to find a job, and some people even after that 6-month extension were able to get a second 6-month extension. So these are some of the things that I believe makes Ireland a very beautiful place to work. It's not like they are happy to send you home. They want you to get a job. They do. You know, it's just, it is what it is. Everyone has a different story and a different journey. So that's about it from me. Congratulations on your graduation or your upcoming graduation, or even thinking about coming to Ireland. I am so happy to have you here. And please leave a comment. Tell me about your experience. If you are looking to apply for a stamp 1G, how can I help? If you have applied for one, do you have any tips that we can take from? Okay, that's it. Take care. Till next time. Bye.